And we're back. We are moving into our final conversation for this morning where we're going to get more information about a sporting group. It's called the BK Sports Group. And here to tell us more about it, we have Berisford, who is the manager. We have Karym Coleman, who is the founder of BK Sports and also a scholarship awardee, and Daril, Avila, who also received a scholarship. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Lenny. Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you too, because I'm really interested to hear all about BK Sports. So let's just start off by having you explain to us what exactly you aim to do.
Well, I could take that one. Yeah. BK Sports, originally BK Volleyball Foundation, is a youth-led organization dedicated to opening up scholarship opportunities for student athletes in Belize to pursue education abroad and compete at a higher level abroad.
Mm-hmm. And so it started off with just volleyball, and now you're expanding beyond that?
Yeah, it started off when Brighton, my younger brother, and Karym received a scholarship to go to Canada to play volleyball for Berisford College. Karym will share a bit about that experience, how it's been going so far. Yeah. But we've gotten quite a large number of athletes scouted and scholarships, so we decided now to gradually move into other sports.
Now, we have heard off and on of people who have received scholarships, athletic scholarships, to attend schools, especially in the United States over the years. But what it sounds like you're trying to do is to formalize one place where people can go for assistance. Is that what I understand?
Well, for us, it's really about giving that extra helping hand for those who may not understand the system in terms of how to connect with these universities, how to navigate through the scouting process, the whole process of getting eligible for school. Because since Brighton and Karym have done it already, we want to take the knowledge we've acquired through them and help others open the doors as much as possible. Some people will go on their own. There's a young man, John Ivan, who, with the help of his sister, who went out maybe 10, 15 years ago, he just got a scholarship to go play football in the US. So, but we're here to help anybody who is looking for an opportunity, who has both the grades and the athletic ability to make most of their talent.
Yeah. So it's linking them to show how they can be able to further their education by using the skill set that they do have, the talent in whatever sport they play.
Precisely.
All right. So Karym, let's start off with your experience. You were recruited to play volleyball in Canada.
Yes. So far, so good, actually. You know, it's a higher level than we're used to down here when in terms of tertiary education. But it's very easy for us Belizeans to adapt because of the way that we play. We naturally play high ball here in Belize, but when you travel outside, it becomes something more fast, which plays into our strong points, right? Because we can jump, but we also are built with a natural speed and ability to move. So if we just practice a little more, then we also become a strong part of any team that we are placed on.
How did you and Brighton make the connection for the scholarship?
Actually, it was one of our friends when we went to Nicaragua to play for Central American Games. He plays on Costa Rica national team, and he also goes to Berisford with us. And he saw Brighton when we went there, and he talked to Brighton, who then talked to the coach, who talked to me, and we just got the paperwork and we moved on from there.
So you had to apply to be a student athlete?
Yes, we pretty much just had to apply to the school because the coach had already offered the scholarship to us. So it was just for us to get into the institution.
Yeah. And this is such a normal practice, this recruitment of really talented athletes to get scholarships for higher education. But it seems like in your situation, it was kind of luck that you met the right people at the right time.
Yeah. that's pretty much how it happened. Yeah, we kind of lucked into a scholarship, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We just were at the right place at the right time, like you put it, and we already knew the person that was talking to us, and he knew how we played, and he wanted to make a connection and make his team stronger.
Yeah. And I guess that drives the point home on the purpose of the group itself, Berisford, that it doesn't have to be a matter of luck.
Precisely. We just learned from those guys and tried to replicate it every year after that. No. So it's not a luck thing anymore, but just about getting them prepared from first form, second form to get ready so that they can go directly after high school and not have to wait like Brighton and Karym did. Who it's really a unique situation for them because they are much older than the typical college athlete. Yeah. But Canada is a bit more loose in terms of the age of people that they would scout, and a bit looser compared to the US with eligibility requirements.
Yeah. So how do you plan? Well, let's get Daril in and hear his story. Daril?
Yes, good morning.
Tell us about the connection you made for your scholarship.
Well, the connection was pretty, I would say similar to Brighton and Karym.
Yeah.
We got in touch with my school, Concordia University of Edmonton, with the help of Berisford, and we talked to the coach and sent out a highlight mixtape, and we went from there. My coach talked to me about the different tactics and what's not of the league, and he was like, "Are you ready for that?" And I was like, "Yeah, where I'm sure I'm ready." And while being out there, it was a pretty difficult time during the first few months, getting adjusted to the team tactics and the environment and everything. But just playing out the season was pretty awesome, a great experience.
Yeah. And at what point did you leave? Had you already started junior college or your tertiary level education?
Yes, I'm actually doing my bachelor's degree in environmental science.
Yeah.
So I left last year, September, and hopefully could conclude my degree in the next few years.
Okay, so you did 1 year in Belize.
Yeah,
tertiary level.
I did 2 years at the University of Belize for my associate's degree, and then I transferred over to Concordia University.
Yeah. Now, guys, tell me what the experience is like playing at the level that you are. Because we know that, unfortunately, after high school, being able to play for a school team, it's not as big, I would say, in terms of the tertiary level players. What is it like when you ventured into your new university? You have to train with your coach, and you have two major responsibilities. One, to perform well in school, but also to perform well on the court.
Well, like in my case, I'm lucky enough to go to a school that is pretty small. Mm-hmm. So we got to know everyone very quickly, even our classmates and our teachers. And they are open and helpful when it comes to athletes traveling and time to finish up their work. Mm-hmm. But like for me, it doesn't seem like it's something that's overbearing. They make sure that you take just enough subjects that you can do great at them while also participating and excelling to your full potential on the court. Yeah. So it's up to you, the athlete, to learn how to balance all the things that you have to do on a daily basis, because you have your practice, you have to get your schoolwork done, you still have to go to class, right? So it comes down to being a very disciplined person at the end of the day. Because like for us, we're representing Belize, we're not just representing ourselves. Yeah. And when it comes to our foundation, we want to create that avenue that more athletes will be able to go out there. So we have to make sure that we make a good name for our people back home to give them the chance to reach to where we are and maybe higher.
Yeah. And for you, Daril?
Well, for me, it wasn't really much of a big transition due to the fact that while going to University of Belize, I was on scholarship. So you know, doing the workouts, doing the school stuff, you know, I was already used to that. But going out there, you know, and my university is a very small university as well. And, you know, it was a very easy connection with me and the lecturers and my coaches and my teammates. So it was just for me to get immersed into the system and for me to get used to whatsoever, all the tactics and all the game plays and everything that coach have had planned out for us.
What about
and like Karym, excuse me?
I was going to say, what about the difference in the level of play?
The difference in the level of play, you know, it's like a more faster pace. The guys out there are more taller, and you know, it's more systematic. So getting adjusted to that was probably one of my main, I wouldn't say an issue, but you know, I took more time to, you know, getting used to that system. So it wasn't too difficult, but it was kind of difficult at the start.
So what do you hope the younger players coming up would be able to recognize? Berisford, I didn't miss that you said you want to work with students from as early as first form, like as soon as they're playing at high school level to almost improve their likelihood of getting a scholarship outside of Belize to play and study.
Yeah, like the earlier you get them thinking about going abroad, thinking about taking on college athletics as a serious route to getting their education, the better. We have a young man who we've been working with him on that side, that mental side of getting ready, because of course his coaches do a great job with him. A young man by the name of Coleman Ingram. Coleman is about 16 years old now, going into fourth form at EP York, and he's almost 6 feet, about 4 inches already. Well, accomplished volleyball player for his age. But we've taken him under our wing just to get him ready mentally. We have him pretty much following the guys everywhere they go, the older guys who've been around, who've gotten the experience, who've gotten the exposure. And he knows now that he needs to ensure his grades are maintained. He knows that this year he'll likely have to sit the SAT exams. So he's fully aware of the process now. So it's for him now to continue to get better as an athlete, to continue to push himself, to grow holistically, to make the most then of his talent. So it's a full big picture type of process we're looking at, not simply just focusing on the athletics, because that's secondary for us. We want to ensure that these young men and women, because we got three scholarships this year for young women across the country in volleyball. Ms. Corey Diego being the most recent one, who will be going to a university in Arkansas, Division I program at the HBCU to complete her bachelor's degree in, I think, in biology, if I'm not mistaken. And we got 2 other junior college scholarships as well, which then would open the door for more scouting opportunities once the young ladies get to the US.
Yeah.
So it's really that holistic picture we're trying to build better people, more productive Belizeans through sports, and you know, using it as the vehicle for higher education.
Yeah. I love what you're saying. You know, it really is taking all the skill and talent and the time they've invested in that skill and talent and using it as a vehicle of getting, 1, the experience internationally, but 2, also getting their education. But I'm curious to know, because I think it was Daril that mentioned that you reached out to the school on his behalf. What's the response you get when you contact these schools and say, well, I'm from Belize and I know this player? What is the feedback that you get?
Well, all the credit, of course, goes to Brighton and Karym in Canada for this part. That they have both been excellent ambassadors for the country. Brighton won the Rookie of the Year in his first year. Karym just won Player of the Year in the entire conference.
Wow, congrats.
And Karym was recognized as an all-Canadian player as well. That's over the different leagues across Canada. So he was one of the, I want to say, the top 6 or 7 best players in the country at his level. So when we write now and we say, hey, Coach Jacobson, we have a young man by the name of Daril Avila. He's a national team standout from Belize, and we're from the group who sent out Brighton and Karym. With the response, it's a lot more open.
Yeah.
We begin discussions, and those guys who've gone and done well help us to get a foot in the door. It might not necessarily be at their exact college or university, but their names have grown so big. They were like, Karym was number 1 in kills, Brighton was number 2. So it's like they have a sufficient name, or a sufficiently popular name across the region, that when we send out anything to Canada, we could get a response pretty much right away, almost guaranteed.
Nice. So there you go, Karym, you were completely downplaying yourself in terms of your achievements. Thank you for that, Berisford. Definitely trailblazing there. What does that feel like for you?
Well, it was a beautiful feeling, actually, to be named the MVP of an international league, especially since it was my first full year there. Because, as you know, I didn't reach over there until December of the year before. And spending some time with the team, learning to play with them. Like Daril said, it was a little hard at first, but learning to adjust to the system, because everything for them is system. It kind of made you feel like you actually do what you came to do. Like the hard work that you're putting off is actually paying off now in the long run.
Yeah.
So it was one of the best feelings that I've enjoyed so far.
Yeah. Can I ask both of you, did you ever view volleyball being, or sports in general, being such a critical part of shaping your future as it is now with your scholarship opportunities?
Well, for me, I was completely blind to the fact that, you know, how much volleyball how much volleyball has brought to the table for me. And, you know, from high school, I promised myself, you know, I wanted something bigger. And, you know, I just went for it, you know, just putting in the work and, you know, trusting my instincts, you know, and getting the support from the people that, you know, wanted to help, you know, in my development. So I'm pretty honored to be blessed with this volleyball gift here.
Yeah. And it comes with responsibilities too. Yeah, go ahead.
Same goes for me. Like, I was at a stage where I was already working. So I already gave up volleyball as being an avenue. But like you said, we lucked into something, and I decided to take the chance to pursue and see where this takes me. And so far, so good. I'm loving the experience. I'm enjoying the college experience like everyone else is for the first time. Nice. So I can't wait to go back and see what new they have to present to us.
Nice. Well, let me qualify what I said, right? Because I do fundamentally believe that luck is what happens when opportunity meets preparation. And clearly, you guys have been preparing in how much you've invested in your own individual sports. I think this is such a wonderful story to share, and it tells all the kids right now who are at volleyball camp, football camp, basketball camp, that this sport that they love can also be a passport for them to a unique opportunity, and definitely, more importantly, to higher education. Berisford, how do people, do you recruit people that you want to work with? Do you accept recommendations? How do you expect the process to work?
Well, for us, we're figuring it out as we go along now for the other sports. But for volleyball, what we've really done is, and kudos to the Belize Volleyball Association for it, is that they have a regular sort of exposure with the kids at the national team level.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to find basically who are the best up and coming talents from both male and female, from I think Kodika there now they're starting at, moving all the way into the U17 and the U19 and the U21s. So we have a pretty good sense of who is the up and coming talent. What we're doing now, I just wanted to plug something that we did recently with Daril. Karym is supporting the camp in Belize City, but Daril actually has hosted his second annual Daril Avila Youth Volleyball Camp. And he's seen the numbers double from about about 15 to 20 last year to about 50 this year in terms of the amount of kids who've come out. So being involved and engaged, having these guys function as role models will also help with recruiting in the future. Because what that does for us, it grows the interest of the sport, it grows the pool of potential talent. And then of course, once you get kids more excited, you might even be able to take some of the basketball kids and move them into volleyball, like what happened with Brighton. So it's a continued process. If anybody wants to reach out to help us, point us in the direction of kids who may have what it takes or who may need a little bit of work, you can certainly reach out to us on our Facebook page. That's BK Sports Belize. Very responsive, BK Sports Group. We're very responsive on the page.
Yeah.
Any help is welcome. And of course, now given that we're moving into basketball, the pictures that we're rolling were from our first basketball event that we had a week ago.
Yeah.
We are looking for as much help and guidance. We like to take the big tent approach, where we bring everybody in, everybody who is willing to support the process of progress and sustainability and raising the standard. We welcome any conversations with them. We welcome assistance, as long as it's all about the youth, about the athletes, and about providing opportunity. Yeah. If it's not about that, we're not interested. But if it is, we welcome any future partners or friends to the foundation.
And I think this is also a great opportunity to reach out to people who are living, Belizeans who are living outside, because sometimes they have connections as well at different educational institutions that they may be able to provide for you another link for possible opportunities. So you're primarily on Facebook?
Yeah, we're primarily on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, BK Sports as well. And either of the two mediums would be very responsive on. We try to respond at least within an hour, if maybe quicker.
Yeah.
But we are always very open to anybody willing to help. We certainly would want to tap into the diaspora a bit more to get support out to, Daril in PG, Mr. Ray Palmer, who's been a stalwart in PG volleyball. Whatever help we can get those guys down there is always welcome, whether it's new volleyballs, whether it's get some shirts down there for the kids who train a couple days a week.
Yeah.
We want to get something up and running in Dangriga, hopefully within the next, maybe before the end of this year. Belize City has always been the hub for volleyball. It's spreading around the country, but we also want to do more for the other sports as well. But we just have to be strategic with the amount of resources that we have, because we've pretty much been self-financed throughout the entire 2 years of operation. And, we've been blessed to have good partners. Like for this past basketball event, we had the City Council in Belize City. We had the National Sports Council. We had Ahmadiyya Basketball League, who came together to help us put this first event of its kind together,
And we know one thing. We know we have a whole lot of talent in Belize. Karym and Daril, talk to the student athletes as we start to close about staying motivated and making sure that they maintain the discipline and the energy in their crafts, and as well as schoolwork, since they've been out of school since March.
Well, basically, you just have to remember that you're out there representing something more than yourself. So you got to take pride in knowing that if you mess up, it's not just you that they're looking at, but they're looking at the country of Belize on a whole. So if you mess up, you might spoil the chances and opportunities for someone that's coming behind you to get a chance to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So in terms of being disciplined, you have to realize that you're not there by yourself. You're not alone, right? There's so many people that are behind you that are supporting you. You have your family, your friends, your fellow Belizeans that want to see you succeed. So if you're having a bad day, or if you feel like you're too far from home and stuff, I think one thing you need to remember is that you can just reach out to the people that care about you, because sometimes people are struggling with things on their own, and it's not hard to ask for help, right? We're all in this together,
right.
And everyone back home wants to see you succeed. So everyone has your best interest at heart. So I think that's just something that you as an athlete that's away from home need to remember, that the people are here supporting you, right? You're not just there by yourself. You might feel alone, but you're not really in it alone.
And for the younger athletes in Belize who are coming up, what do you say to them?
Just keep at it, keep mastering your craft, right? But there's no such thing as too much training, right? With training, you get better. Things become second nature. So just keep at it, keep focused, keep motivated.
Daril?
Yeah, for sure. I must agree to what Karym said. You know, you gotta stay disciplined. You know, you gotta stay focused in whatsoever you're doing. You know, schoolwork, working out. You know, anything that you're doing, because you're representing Belize out there. You know, everyone is watching, and you know, you create opportunities for the other athletes here at home. So you know, you gotta stay disciplined. You know, stay focused, whatsoever you're doing. That's my message to the younger athletes.
And I know Berisford said you're working with a group of young people in PG. How can people support you if they wanna help that initiative?
Yes, well, they can contact me through Instagram or Facebook. Either my name is Daril Avila on both mediums, so they can contact me through there for sure.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you for reminding us of all the positive things happening in the country, even as we are in the midst of a pandemic. Keep up the great work. Keep on representing us well.
Thank you for having us.
All right.